everyone. We are going to move through a meditation practice today, cultivating resilience. The dictionary definition of resilience is actually toughness. But the emotional and psychological resilience that we are talking about today refers more to overcoming states of crisis and trauma, using the tools needed to heal and move forward. This resilience comes from within. We are going to take a good, honest look at ourselves from the seat of self-awareness. Self-awareness is the practice of compassionately observing ourselves, our behaviors, and our thoughts. As we observe ourselves with compassion, we give space for all the parts of us to show up, even the parts we don't want to admit are there. As we practice self-awareness, we begin to separate ourself from our thoughts. We begin with compassionate observation, and then we move into this gentle curiosity. We might ask ourselves, what are the stories I'm telling myself? What are the patterns that I'm repeating, hoping for a new outcome? What fears are in the way of breaking these patterns? What do I need to shed? What do I need to let go of in order to see a new path forward? And maybe even, what am I avoiding? As we start to unravel our fears and our stories, we discern truth from untruth. An untruth might be a story we tell ourselves about the world in order to make us feel safe from an unknown future. Acknowledge that this is an important part of the way that we protect ourselves, and it's connected to our primal brain. But we are not facing saber-toothed tigers anymore, and we can discern truth from untruth and let go of the things that are untrue. An untruth might be, everything in my life goes wrong. As we start to use self-awareness, we might start to see some untruth in the statement or in the thought, and we could replace it with, I'm having a really hard time right now, and this feels familiar. What are the patterns that I'm repeating? And what do I need to change in order to move toward the outcome that I want? When we allow our imagination to elaborate on a fear, and then we take that story as truth, we create limiting beliefs, and our fears turn into the monsters under our beds. Resilience is taking a flashlight, looking under the bed, facing the fear, only to discover there are only mothballs and old socks under there. What we discover is that the stories we tell ourselves are quite rigid, very black and white, and very limiting. As we begin to undo them, we start to see there are many more possibilities out there. We start to feel a little more adaptable, even optimistic, about our truest path forward. So we're going to take some time now to move through a meditation to cultivate resilience from within. Let's find a comfortable seat, or maybe you want to lie down, and we'll close our eyes. As the eyes close, we're going to bring our attention to our breath. Let your awareness drop into your body. Just noticing the sensation and quality of your breath. Gradually begin to extend the breath, breathing in and out through the nose, long breath in, steady breath out. Feeling the space in the body as you inhale, and a gentle surrender to gravity as you exhale. Continue taking a deep breath in and a steady breath out. We are shifting from an everyday subconscious breath to a deeply conscious yoga breath. We can use this breath anytime we need it to bring our awareness into our bodies and to the present moment. Continue breathing steadily and deeply in and out through the nose, feeling the space we create in our bodies as we inhale, and that gentle surrender to gravity as we exhale. Settling into our bodies, into the present moment. Continue to find a deep and steady breath. I'd like to share a story about a tree. As you listen to the story, see if you can visualize the tree I describe in your mind's eye. There is a tree here in Turks and Caicos called Gumbo Limbo. I lived on one of the smaller desert islands here where they had a species of this tree that only grew there in the whole world. Kew Gardens even came to collect its precious seeds for the Millennium Seed Bank, a seed bank of all the species of plants in the world. Its leaves are small but mighty. They smell like eucalyptus when broken. The leaves and the bark have many medicinal uses. Its trunk is quite soft, reddish in color, and the branches can easily bend and break off. On this small desert island, there was this one Gumbo Limbo tree that was about 4 feet high. You could see that in its younger years, the tree had a calm environment to grow in, enough water, enough sunlight, and no storms. Note that on this island, trees rarely grew taller than 8 or 10 feet due to the desert habitat. Trees along the coastline were lucky to be a foot tall. The winds of the coast kept them low and flat to the ground, and they appeared like ground covers rather than trees. The Gumbo Limbo was in the middle of the island, where it was safe to grow tall. The base of the trunk was straight and even in thickness. As it reached the height of 4 feet, something must have changed. A hurricane or a series of years with hurricanes and tropical storms must have swept over the island. The tree stopped growing upward and turned downward. The trunk of the tree literally twisted downward toward the earth, toward safety. Its branches spread gently across the earth around it, where they would be safe from breaking. The tree changed its path in order to survive and thrive. When I think of resilience, I think of this tree. If it had continued on its path of growing upward, trying to be rigid or resistant to the winds that came, in denial of its own soft nature, it surely would have been snapped in two. Instead, it used its softness to bend. Let's begin to cultivate resilience like the tree. We are going to use our imaginations here to visualize our life as a tree, from seed to full growth. Try to allow whatever first comes to mind to lead the visualization. If nothing comes to mind, that's okay. Follow along as best you can. Imagine you are a seed, with the full potential of growing into a beautiful tree. Not just any tree, a unique tree with the potential to offer healing and with specific qualities that will help you to thrive in your environment. This seed is you at birth. Your full potential is waiting to be manifested. Try and imagine what this seed looks like. What is the environment like where the seed has been planted? Is it a soft bed of rich soil? Is it sandy and rocky? Is the ground moist or dry? What other trees and plants are growing around you? Are you alone, or is there shelter from your mother tree or other plants? Picture you, this seed, waiting to come to life on the ground. And now it starts to rain. It's pouring rain. The ground becomes wet and spongy, and you can feel yourself coming to life, activating in the most incredible way from the inside out. You can feel your fullest potential. You are germinating. You are growing. At first, your stem is soft and leaves are few. And then your stem becomes a trunk with roots that keep you secured to the Mother Earth beneath you. You reap all the benefits of the sun, the rain, and the soil. You are growing in an environment you are prepared to thrive in. If the soil is sandy and dry, your roots know how to find water. If you are in full heat of the sun, your leaves are shiny and can deflect some of the heat. Your leaves can retain water if water is scarce. Your leaves can fall right off to help you survive through dry or cold periods. The qualities within you allow you to adapt perfectly to whatever comes your way. You notice how many of the trees and plants around you are using their unique qualities to adapt too. 8 years have passed. You are tall and strong. Your roots are deep and wide, and your trunk and branches are strong and thick, yet soft inside. You notice how your branches bend in the breeze. You are unsure why you need these qualities. You may even try to hide the fact that you're soft inside and grow a thick bark around you. You are proud of how straight and tall and strong you are. One day, the winds begin to change. They grow stronger and stronger until you can see the trees around you start to lose branches and leaves. Some of them are lifting out of the ground. You can feel the force of the wind trying to lift you, trying to break your branches. You know you can survive without your leaves, and you watch them blow away. Small branches snap off, but you are still okay. For a moment, you are afraid the wind will lift you out of the ground like some of the other trees around you. But then you remember your strong, deep roots. That's why they're there. They are holding you tight to the ground. And you can bend with the wind. The wind lasts for weeks, and you continue to bend until you stop growing upward and start growing downward, in the shelter of the trees around you. You can bend because you are soft inside. You can bend because you have strong roots to support you. As the weather starts to settle and calm, you can see some of the trees around you lifted out of the ground. Some are broken. You understand why you are growing where you are. You understand why you are soft inside. You are proud to be able to bend. Your branches spread far and wide along the ground, offering shelter to many animals. You have made it through the storm. You have learned to use your unique qualities and adapt to the change in weather. You are proud of your softness and your strength. Resilience comes from within. We can use our unique qualities, maybe even the qualities we label weird or bad, to thrive in this life. But we need to own these qualities, like the tree proud of its softness and its strength. As we begin to listen to ourselves and discover all our parts, we understand that we are not so rigid, so black and white, and we are many, many things. Take a moment now to consider the story you may be telling yourself about who you are. This story may feel true for you right now. See if you can notice any rigidity in your story. Notice if there is any room for more in your story. Remember how you felt in the visualization when you were that seed beginning to germinate with all the potential inside you to be exactly who you were meant to be, a beautiful, healing tree. What is the limiting belief? What is the story you tell yourself about who you are that is in the way of who you were born to be? Take a moment to consider this, allowing emotions to come up if they do, allowing whatever comes to simply be there. Know that you are okay exactly as you are. We are simply opening the door to ourselves to see what more is there beneath the surface. What parts of us may be waiting to be acknowledged. And notice what we may be ready to let go of. If any fears are coming up for you, see if you can name the fear. What are you feeling? When the tree was afraid it would be uprooted, what did it do? It remembered its strong roots clinging tightly to the ground. When we face our fears, we first acknowledge that we are okay. Our feet are firmly rooted on the ground, and we can take things one step at a time. We can call on our support systems if we need to. This could be taking a walk in nature. This could be calling a friend or family member. This could be tuning into your own strengths, your own values, your innate support system within. What are your roots? What keeps you grounded? Take a moment to feel your own support system. What did the tree do next? It remembered its softness and started to bend down out of the wind. It can be scary to change course. It can be scary to do something you've never done before, to face your fears. But you are adaptable. This is our strongest human quality. Notice that all the parts of you, all the experiences in your life have prepared you for whatever lies ahead. You can face your fears one step at a time with your feet on the ground. You can use your unique qualities to adapt to your present moment experience and take the next best step toward your fullest potential. Picture yourself moving toward your fullest potential, even if you don't know what that is. Notice how this feels. Notice the feeling of possibility, opportunity, growth. You are as adaptable as the tree. You have within you all the qualities you need to thrive in this world. You just need to acknowledge that they're there. Be open to the change in weather and use the tools needed to heal and move forward in this life. Taking a deep breath in. Taking a steady breath out. Feeling the sensation of the breath in the body and the body on the ground. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Relax the neck and the jaw. And slowly, when you're ready, begin to open your eyes. Take a moment to consider the journey you've had And feel free to write anything down that has come up for you if that's helpful. Acknowledge that resilience is something we cultivate. It grows in us with each new experience that life brings, if we are open to learning. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here. If you're enjoying what we're sharing, please give us a like, and you can also subscribe to this channel below.
And if you want to follow us along on this journey, you can find us at kin.co or on Instagram at kinsight.